We go where we are in Jack London Square, and I'm speaking with Emily Kirsch. She's the co-founder of SunCube, which is a solar incubator here in Oakland, and Danny Kennedy. He is also the co-founder of SunCube as well as Sungevity, which is going great guns. Raised $175 million, is doing just well, and you're also pioneers in the startup community here in Jack London Square. So thank you for joining me, and I'm just going to do a quick pan, and maybe Danny, you can talk a little bit about why you brought Sungevity here as I do this.
Sure. Well, I guess your viewers can see why we came to Jack London Square. It's just a beautiful place to be. It's got sun 9 months of the year, a great little microclimate, but also beautiful waterfront district, and incredibly affordable rent, shall we say. I don't like to use the word cheap, but believe me, it's very attractive to startups to be down here in Oakland, close to the city, just 20 minutes away by ferry, close to San Jose, just an hour away by Amtrak with Wi-Fi, so many of our engineers just jump on the train to get to work and back home. It's a really great place to be from amenities as well as commuting point of view and recruiting, and really makes Oakland sort of front and center of the places to build new companies. And we want to do that for the solar industry especially.
And you have 400 employees now, and 100 of them moved here to Oakland.
100 of them are from Oakland, and many moved into Oakland in order to work with us. And the rest are commuting, like I said, by train, ferry, bus and car to a really central location. And the idea of this SunCube is that we catalyze many more solar startups to use Jack London Square as kind of a campus, and we could have thousands of solar industry workers down here as the industry grows and becomes one of the fastest growing tech-based businesses in the world.
So Emily, tell us about your vision. SunCube is a year old, so it's very new. I'm sure not that many people know about it, so tell us what's your vision with that and how many companies are now working with.
Yeah, so very new, like you said. We're the first to admit that we're a startup ourselves. But in this first year, we've had a dozen companies join the SunCube in our solar incubator and accelerator. There's about 165 people employed by those companies spread out around the world, and all working on solar solutions to make solar more affordable and more accessible, and using software solutions, finance solutions, analytics to make that happen. So our mission is to support them to succeed and connect them with great mentors and advisors and investors, all while sharing this gorgeous space here in Jack London Square.
And tell us a little bit about the program. It's a 9-month program. How much money do you invest in each one? Equity do you take? How does it work?
So 2 options for solar entrepreneurs. If you want to just join the space and be surrounded by other solar startups, then they can join the space as part of the incubator, which is a co-working space for solar entrepreneurs. For early stage solar companies, they can apply to be in our 9-month accelerator, and if accepted, we give them free rent for those 9 months. We invest $10,000 cash, and then we connect them with pro bono business services from law firms, marketing firms, design firms. We connect them to mentors and advisors and connect them to capital in exchange for a small equity stake in their company.
Okay. And how do they work with, Danny, how do they work with Sungevity? Do they work with Sungevity at all?
You know, Sungevity's been a founding sponsor of the SunCube and supported us in principle, but they're 2 separate entities, and SunCube has spawned lots of great companies that are potentially going to compete with Sungevity, but it's that sort of approach that we've had all the way along, that we're lifting all boats and making the pie higher, if you will, by supporting more startups. The benefits are many. There's lots of synergies. There's been cross-contracting and some recruiting between companies. Just having an innovation fringe is good for a bigger company that's further down the track of the startup experience. Keeping fresh, keeping new ideas flowing. And really that's what this is all about. It's sort of startup community focused on the solar industry's needs. Those creative collisions and those happy meetings of people are really what makes the magic happen, and that's really what's going to take solar to the next level of its potential in the economy.
What are some of the interesting new companies, new startups you're seeing, Emily?
So a couple in the incubator. Mosaic is one that most people are familiar with, doing crowdfunding for solar. PowerHive is doing microgrids in emerging markets where people can pay for energy on a prepaid basis over their cell phones. So they're charged less for solar than what they're paying for diesel or kerosene. Kilowatt Hour Analytics doing data analytics for the solar finance community to get more investors into solar. On the accelerator side, Bright Current is doing field marketing and partnering with retailers to get customers engaged in the solar experience. Block Power aggregating the potential buying power of low-income neighborhoods in New York to go solar. Standard Microgrid doing microgrids in emerging markets. So the list goes on and on.
The list goes on. You can't leave out any of your kids.
Incredible. I know. I'm sure I did.
No, I'm sure they're all great. How big is the fund, and do you have to go out and, I mean, how long will it take you? How big is the fund, and then how many more companies can you invest out of that fund, and when do you have to go back out there and raise another fund?
We're not driven out of a fund per se.
Okay.
We have invested our own capital to get this going, and some friends and family investors. We do attract capital to the individual companies as they grow and as they need, and are always interested in that conversation with investors.
Our goal for the accelerator is to have 50 companies go through the accelerator over the next 5 years, so an average of 10 per year, and our goal is to help all of them succeed.
Great. And turn this Oakland into a solar city.
Yeah. Solar city, that's a funny word. Sorry, you'll have to edit that. If we get 50 companies to succeed over the next 5 years, you can imagine this square, being kind of crowded with thousands of solar industry workers, not just hundreds.
Right.
And again, bumping into each other, coming up with those sort of new, different takes on how to spread solar for universal need. That's what this FunCube is all about.
Yeah, and just really quickly, Danny, just update us on Sungevity, and for those not familiar, your, what is your business, and where's it going?
Sungevity is one of the fastest growing solar service companies with the solar lease in America. That's made us a real sort of household name along with some of our peers like Sunrun and Solar City. We're also at Sungevity in Europe and in Australia. Our big difference is that we do all the customer processes online and make it really easy to go solar for residential consumers wherever. And we also provide them with customer finance options like loans, leases, and other products that will help them pay for the solar electricity as they go through time rather than buy the solar system up front, which just eases and increases the convenience of going solar and saves people money on their electricity costs.
So essentially, you're essentially installing solar into residential, not corporations.
Right. So we're residential focused and serving thousands of customers across America and now around the world. Have a very high net promoter score and have doubled revenue every year since we started in 2008. So,
nice. Do you want to talk about that revenue? Are you $1 million a day, $1 million every week? Give us a sense of
we do lots
how
of business and we'll be doing much more over coming years in many more countries.
And you've raised $175 million, and the IPO market is open now, so what are your thoughts there?
Look, the solar industry is the hottest sort of undersung space in the global economy. We're $100 billion in value, growing at 35% CAGR through the Great Recession. It's only going to get steeper, the curve now. And so, many companies are going to do very well while doing good, while spreading solar to the masses and getting us off fossil fuels, which, as you all know, is critical so that we can enjoy beautiful places and weather like this.
Okay. Well, Danny Kennedy, Emily Kirsch, we'll see you both at Vader Splash, Oakland in May. Thank you.